Meet Miles. Miles is a Canadian makeup artist, model, social media influencer, and yes, he is a member of the LGBTQ community. He is the G and the Q, in case you couldn't tell. Miles has managed to build a decent-sized fan base on his Instagram, which has brought him tons of sponsorship deals. However, Miles went viral a few months ago for some very shocking statements that he made on a queer podcast. Despite his outrageous comments, a major Canadian company has selected him to be the face of a national beauty campaign, and people are upset. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If this is your second, third, fourth time watching one of my videos and you're not yet subscribed, we already go together. Okay, make it official and hit that subscribe button. Today we have to talk about this Canadian company that is facing backlash for their questionable beauty campaign. I'm saying questionable because I'm trying to be nice today, okay? It's questionable. The company at the center of this controversy is called Shoppers Drug Mart, and for those of you who are not familiar, Shoppers Drug Mart is similar to like a Rexall or a CVS. They sell prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, food, personal care items, things of that nature, and of course, makeup. Shoppers recently launched a beauty campaign which is being played here on YouTube, on TV, and in stores, and it features this woman wearing an unflattering lipstick color for her skin tone, and an influencer named Miles Sexton, who ironically, or maybe unironically, looks like a queer Jesus.
That is blasphemous! That is blasphemous!
On a side note, this is neither here nor there, but I just need to say it, okay? I find it highly annoying that when they run ads with dark-skinned black women, they deliberately make them look less attractive by making them wear unflattering lipstick colors. The makeup that they have put on this model makes her look like a minstrel character. It's disrespectful and she needs justice. But going back to Miles, many people have taken to social media to voice their thoughts on a man being used to market beauty products meant for women. What is with companies throwing away their core consumer base for this weirdness? No one learned from Bud Light apparently. Oh, be careful. It is not pointless nor useless. The point is to humiliate women. As a Canadian shopper, I would avoid Shoppers Drug Mart over its crystal clear misogyny. Even Canadian businessman and panelist on the show Dragon's Den gave his 2 cents. It's wrong. It's stupid. It's pointless. It's useless. No. It truly astonishes me when companies choose to insult their core consumer base. Like, if every woman stopped buying makeup tomorrow, there wouldn't be enough men who wear makeup for these companies to continue to make profits. 99% of makeup is worn by women, so why alienate them? Women have been saying over and over and over and over again for the last few years, we do not appreciate being replaced by men. But the biggest story surrounding this controversy isn't that a man was chosen to model makeup to women, it's that this specific man was chosen to model makeup to women. Miles advertises himself as an HIV/AIDS advocate. He himself is a carrier of HIV, and a few months ago, Miles made an appearance on a podcast where he discussed his HIV positive status, and in that podcast, he made some very concerning statements that went viral.
Dating,
Right.
prior to me being HIV positive, I was in my slut era and, I was living my best life and whatever, figuring out what I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And as soon as I I put HIV positive on my, on my profiles or disclose that to people, it's just people don't want to touch you.
Right.
And that has gotten better, but it's still unfortunate.
Of course.
I remember being on a date with someone. It was just a first date, but I knew it wasn't going to be anything, and I felt like it was hookup vibes. And so I brought him back to my place, and we were making out, and kind of getting hot and heavy. And then I was like, okay, I need to tell you something. I'm HIV positive.
So this is part of the statement that has sparked outrage. There's more to it, and I'm going to play the rest in a moment, but I just wanted to interject because he admits to using dating websites to meet partners, but he says when he puts in his profile that he has HIV, less people are interested in meeting him. So to combat this, he doesn't disclose his HIV positive status. And so he goes on a date with a man who is unaware of his HIV status, and Miles waited until they were in the middle of being intimate because, make no mistakes, kissing is a form of intimacy. He waited until they were in the middle of intimacy to tell his date that he has HIV. And the two women sitting across from Miles are nodding along like this is okay. If this was a heterosexual woman sitting down with these two podcasters and she was sharing a story with them about how she met a man through online dating and he waited until the ninth inning to tell her that he has HIV, they would be appalled. Like, they would have all sorts of names to call such a man because it's wrong. So why is it that because this man is a gay man, they're sitting there and condoning his actions? His sexual orientation is not the issue here. The problem here is informed consent. His pride and his ego shouldn't be put before the health and safety of the people that he's being intimate with. And to top things off, this guy says he is an HIV advocate. So you are advocating for people to not disclose their status to the people they're being intimate with? What kind of advocacy is that? What kind of shit is that?
I felt like it was like hookup vibes. And so I brought him back to my place and we were making out and, kind of getting hot and heavy. And then I was like, okay, like, I need to tell you something. Like, I'm HIV positive. And I remember he like looked at me and it was like I murdered him.
So you're the victim here? Really? Really, Miles? Really? Look, HIV is nothing to play with, so it is very understandable why Miles's date was freaking out. I personally know a woman who was married to a man who was unfaithful, and he contracted HIV, and he gave it to her. He died from it, and she almost died from it. She was in hospice care for almost 2 weeks. Like, everyone thought she was going to die. Everyone was preparing for her to die, and by some miracle, she survived, and she has been living with this illness for over 20 years. She has to give herself injections every single day. She has to be careful not to get even like the common cold, because something like that can be fatal for someone who is immunocompromised and has HIV or AIDS. So this is a very serious illness. So it's completely understandable why someone would have such a strong reaction in fear of, oh my gosh, is it possible that I just contracted this very serious and incurable illness? Like, as I was watching the interview, I was so annoyed at how flippant Miles was being about HIV. He was acting like, oh, it's just a cold. Like, if I have, like, I take my medication, I'm fine. Like, who cares? It's nobody's business. Yes, sir, it is their business. You should be upfront with the people that you are being intimate with.
And he started like getting like very verbally abusive and started freaking out at me. And I'm like, I have this person in my like home. I was like, I thought he was going to beat the shit out of me. And I had to like get him out of my house. He was like, I can't believe you wouldn't tell me. And like
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Like, and I'm like, trying to educate him. And he's like, you gave me HIV. And like, was just like losing his mind. And I'm like, no, that's not possible. Even if I bled on you, like in an open wound, like that wouldn't happen. I'm undetectable. And like, but he just like didn't want to hear it.
You can't throw this type of information onto someone under these circumstances and then be surprised when they lash out. To avoid this, just be honest, upfront, not after the fact.
That's so sad that people's perception of you as like a person change.
Yes, totally.
Like, you're written with disease and like they can't touch you, they can't speak to you. Like, you lied to them, you deceived them, like all these different things where actually you were trying to be very honest with them. And you were just trying to have like a regular conversation, educate them. And also you hadn't done anything to them.
Was she listening to the same story that we all just listened to? Because I don't understand how she's defending this.
Do you think people should care if someone they're dating discloses to them that they have HIV?
I don't think they should. The way the law goes, like being undetectable, like I really don't have to like disclose my status.
Right.
And you think about it, like anyone that you meet on your first date or if like you're hooking up, like
They
you
could
like,
have something.
I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure. You're not telling them any of this shit. Like it's just like, I don't necessarily think that like, where HIV is now, like if you are undetectable, like you don't necessarily like have to disclose that. I don't think you're putting anyone at any risk.
Comparing HIV to diabetes is wild. First of all, diabetes isn't contagious. Nice try though, sir. He also mentioned that the law doesn't require him to disclose his status if he is undetectable. And I confirm this, and yes, it's true. In Canada, if the person is undetectable or has a low viral load, they are not legally required to disclose their HIV status. And in America, the law varies by state to state, and I think that's crazy. I think we need to change the law. As far as Miles is concerned, I just think it's so irresponsible for someone who says that they are an advocate for HIV to try to normalize people keeping their status a secret. The purpose of advocacy is to raise awareness and to educate people, not to encourage deception. This is the influencer that Shoppers Drug Mart chose to be the face of their beauty campaign. Well, When Planet Fitness allowed anyone who identifies as a woman to use their facilities, I canceled my membership. When Hershey's decided that they were going to put a man on the chocolate bar to commemorate International Women's Day, I stopped eating Hershey's, and it looks like I'm not going to be shopping at Shoppers anymore. It's not going to be very hard because their prices are astronomical. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. What are your guys' thoughts? Any Canadians, have you been to Shoppers lately, and have you seen this ad in Shoppers Drug Mart, and will you be boycotting Shoppers? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you are not yet subscribed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you know when I upload a new video. If you guys would like to support my channel, you can do so by checking out my Patreon. And you can also check out my social media links in the description box down below. If you liked this video and you would like to see more like it, I will have 2 more videos for you in the end cards. A special thanks to everyone who's supporting me on Patreon. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.